So now we come to the final part. We're going to work on the sacrum now. The interesting part about this is when we're using the back saver on our sacrum, we're not just loosening the area around the spine, but the hips also, the top of the legs and the hips. You can go very high with this ordinarily early on, but take your time with all of these things. Some of the effects of the stretching you won't feel until the next day. You can feel it while you're doing it, but 24 hours later is when you will feel, oh, I have a little bit of extra soreness here. That's normal because that's an area that you haven't had stretched out in a long time. It's just a reminder to be patient, and maybe you only go somewhat higher when you do that area the next time and gradually build up to where you can use the biggest one with the medium one. Don't try to do it all on the first day. Feel how you feel the next day and make your adjustments there. So now we're going to do the sacrum. You can use the 360, which is the most common, but everybody is a little bit different. You may want to try the 2D also. I'm going to start with the 2D, but it's most common that you're going to use the 360 and center it under your sacrum. So getting in position for this is a little bit different. We're just going to lay down and then we will lift our hips up and center this right underneath the very base of the spine. So you bring your feet up and just lift. So now I've got it at the very base of my spine. For some people, the 2D attachment, especially when they're starting out, is going to be a little bit more comfortable. If that is the case, for you, use the 2D attachment. Ordinarily, the most effective stretch you're going to get of the sacrum and the surrounding tissues is to use the 360-degree attachment. So we'll take this out, and now we're going to switch. We're going to start and we're going to center the 360 under our sacrum. You don't want it on the spine itself, but at the very last triangular bone at the base of your spine, the sacrum. And now we follow the exact same procedure or protocol. We're going to let our legs relax, let our arms relax. And even just at the beginning height, you're going to feel your hips start to roll away. And the ligaments around the sacrum start to relax. And with each breath you take, it should relax a little bit more and a little bit more. Now in this case, I just took 3 relatively relaxed breaths, but you want to stay there longer. 5, 7, 10 deep breaths is a good minimum. Now I want to move on to increase the height. The higher we go, the more stretch we get. So again, we're just going to use the small base to make it higher. And we put it under the sacrum the exact same way as before. We're just going to use our legs to lift us up a little bit higher. The higher we go, the more stretch you will feel. Now, with this one, I can feel it. As I mentioned earlier, I feel it more on one side than the other. The back saver 360 is directly underneath me, but I feel more stretch on the right side. Again, that is very common. We stand crooked, we sleep crooked, we sit crooked. We always tend to tilt one way or the other. So when we're in a perfectly straight position, stretching out the spine this way, it'll usually feel a little bit more tight on one side or the other. In my case, it's on the right side. All right, so there's 5 breaths, and that really is the very minimum that you're going to want to do. You want to give your body time to relax and open up these ligaments and tendons. All right, so we lift up slowly. Now your back's been stretching, so when you lift up to remove this, do it gently and slowly and come back down. Roll over on the side a little bit. Now, just about anybody can go higher and higher on day one. That doesn't mean it's always a good idea. See how it feels. Ordinarily, it will take some time for you to work up to the highest levels, and there's no hurry. Don't try to undo in one day what it's taken you 25 or 35 or 50 years to create in terms of tension in your back. Be patient, work your way up, see how you feel the following day. If you get in position and you start to relax, and then you feel that it's a little too uncomfortable in one spot, try repositioning a little bit. You may be too high or too low on the sacrum. Now, after 3 breaths, I'm going to just pull my upper body up just a little bit to elongate the lumbar spine a little bit. And now I'm going to breathe again and try and get everything to relax. Now, again, I'm up quite high, right? So when I go to take it out, I want to lift myself up slowly and let myself back down slowly. And then you can roll over onto the side a little bit and pop up again as normal. But be patient when you're doing this. All of this, these are things that will be more effective the more slowly and more calmly and more relaxed that you're doing it. You're never in a hurry to do this. All right, so we're finally here at the very end. We're going to go up to the maximum height. Now for me, this is the maximum that I can do. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time here. I'm going to get the stretch out of it. I'm going to get on and off it carefully. And I'm going to see how I feel tomorrow. Do I feel just a little bit of stretch in here, it's like, okay, I can work my way up to this each time. If it feels like I got a lot of stretch out of it and I'm overly sore tomorrow, well, I just won't go quite that high. I'll just come down and do this for my maximum of stretching. All right, so let's do this one more, and we're going to go up to the top. We're going to open these up the maximum that we can. You have to lift up, quite a bit higher to get all of it underneath. Okay, very slowly. Let your legs relax. They will tend to want to fall open to the side. Okay. And now it's the same thing. Slow, deep breaths. Again, I'm feeling a little bit more stretch in here, in here, in here. My hips are opening up in the same way that my chest was opening up when I had the 360 degree attachment and the extensions under my thoracic spine. My hips are opening up in the same way that my chest did. Okay, so now I'm at the maximum height for this system. Again, getting off, just raise yourself up, slide them out, and you're ready to go. Now again, when I was doing this, I tended to feel it more on my right side, my right hip, even though this was right in the middle of my back. This is normal. You may feel it on your left side or your right side or equal amount of stretch. Most people will tend to feel these different stretches more on one side than the other, even though this is right in the middle of your back. It's perfectly normal.